Smash TV.
Smash TV. So what do you reckon this game's going to be about?
Is this going to be fighting?
Nope.
No?
Let's put in some coins. It's free play, I didn't need to put in any coins, I just wasted 10p. 2 players please, Bob. This is a spiritual successor to Robotron 2084, so that should give you an idea of how to control it.
Great.
To start with.
Oh, so it's one of those where you can only...
Yeah, so check it out.
Shoot
And it should be a little bit easier because you've now got a controller. And there's 2 of us! Check that out! So for once we're playing a cooperative 2-player game. When was the last time we had that? Oh yeah, never.
We've never done it before.
We haven't. So the idea is to run around, shoot all these people. It's extremely violent because it's the 90s and violence was in. It was edgy and cool to have blood and gore in games. And the idea is to collect all the money and the gold and the presents.
What's this?
I just got a sleek 1999 Roadster, for example.
I can't see anything now.
What do you mean you can't
Exit.
see anything now? Exit.
Ah, it looks good.
Collect 10 keys. Yeah, so we can see. Getting Robocop vibes from this.
Oops.
Well done.
I
knew
turned
you'd do
into
that.
an eyeball.
I knew when I was testing this out yesterday, because I did actually test it out yesterday. I knew that you'd run into at least one of those.
Wow, we had some prior testing, folks. This never happens.
Shut up. But it's got that sort of weird, crazy game show vibe to it as well, which I quite like.
I don't know the story. There was no indication that anything.
No, you kind of already know the story by the fact that that guy came up and you're collecting money and stuff. That's all you need to know, really.
Is it?
Because, much like all the arcades we've played, the story is secondary, really. It only serves to sort of inform the gameplay and how it's going to look, how it's going to feel.
Right, so tell me about this game.
So this is a Williams Electronics game, same as Robotron, and like I say, it's a sort of spiritual successor. We're going up or down? Up or down, up or down?
Up.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so it's the sequel to Robotron.
Not really a sequel so much as it controls the same, but everything else about it is different.
It controls similar. I wouldn't say it was the same.
Well, it is, because you've got one stick to move, the other stick to fire, which is exactly the same as Robotron. It's just a little bit slower. Obviously, the graphics are much improved.
Oh yes.
And I think... There you go. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to let a little thing like death get in your way. But instead of saving people, you're saving money. Why do you keep standing there and letting them hit you?
I don't realise that I've come back, and then I can't shoot in
I don't know what blew me up.
quite the direction I want to.
Yes,
I can only
if I'm-
shoot in 8
directions.
8 directions. And then, because I can't quite shoot everywhere I'd like to, they sneak up on me. I don't like this red coat here. Who's just...
I know.
Oh.
Well, you have to kind of blow him up. You have to shoot him before he blows up, or else he'll fire loads
It's
of
like
shrapnel across
when
the
they
screen.
come at me from a slight angle, there's no...
Yeah. Well, they've got to remember this will have been
Cutting
digital
edge.
joysticks, whereas we're using analog joysticks here because we're modern and hip and we don't have proper joysticks. We've got dirty controllers instead. So,
up again.
Um,
It's very difficult.
yeah, it's a difficult game.
It's suffering from gauntlet syndrome in that there's a lot going on and there's not a lot of time or space to do anything about it, but the actual enemies are quite simple to defeat.
There is a point to that, though. It's to milk them quarters, kiddies.
Yeah, I get that, but there's not much sense of satisfaction.
Do you not think?
Not really.
I would disagree with that point. I think... Oh, I just got killed by something and I'm not sure what it was. That's what tends to happen.
I've died. I was nowhere near anybody.
I think it's the shrapnel that you can barely see. And
Well-
again, a lot of these concessions were made... Well, not really concessions, more like just little changes were made because it's an arcade game and they want to get loads of money out of it. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah,
Ah!
I get that.
So, it makes it tricky. Right, take out that guy. Get the grenades for no reason. And then run into the mine. That was entirely your fault.
Yes, I know.
I like how he came out the exit.
It looks very nice.
Bonus prizes!
I don't know what's going on.
Big money! Big prizes! I love it!
Does that not explain it?
So we're in a game show.
Yeah.
And we've just got to...
You're in a very
survive.
violent, almost Logan's Run-esque,
Yeah.
but with a lot more action. Give you one more life. We'll see how we get on these last lives.
Can't... Ugh. These purple guys are fast.
No,
Ah! Ah!
they're still only dying one hit, but
No,
it's because there's
no.
so many of them.
Yeah. And I can't fight. Oh.
You've got to try and kite them around and then shoot in one direction.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. It's impossible because there's just so many.
This is why you collect the power-ups to make it a little bit easier for you.
How do I use the power-ups?
You run into them and then that's it. You've got them.
No, how do I use them?
No, well, you just use them automatically. You've got two controls and you're using them constantly, so you just use the same ones. Like this one, a grenade. I have a grenade. Now I'm firing grenades everywhere.
Like that.
Right.
Those guys that have just got me, I could not shoot them, no matter what I did.
Like that guy there, yeah.
Yeah.
It is tricky. But, like I said, they didn't have analog inputs, these games. They had digital, so they had to go with what they had. Well, let's let this run out. I'm not sure if it'll show us what we got, because we might have to defeat the boss to get that. But basically, you end up winning like 15 VCRs and 23 cars and stuff. Oh, here we go. We've got to put in our... names. Put in your name. Yay!
How do I choose?
Right stick.
Oh, that's just awkward.
Right stick up. Well, it's the control. They didn't have buttons on these games.
Why not?
Because why do they need them? No, they don't.
John's doing pretty good. So he's lit.
Lip. Okay, so that was Smash TV
No, I didn't like that.
for the arcade. Well, you better like it because we've got several of the versions to play today.
I have the same feelings about that as I did about Robotron, because it was basically the same thing.
It was pretty similar, wasn't it?
Good luck! You'll need it!
So, we'll wait for it to load all of data into external memory. Yeah, Amiga stuff. Because this is the Commodore Amiga version of
Right.
Smash TV.
This is what?
Yes,
Yes.
this is what I have received for Christmas.
Yes.
Except this is technically an A1200 and not an A600, but we'll let that slide. It's still
Presented
an
by
Amiga.
Jeff.
What?
I want to say Jeff Clooney. George Clooney.
George Clooney.
Yeah.
Alright. We've got some... it's
It looks
a good
good.
start.
Looks the same.
Right, let's press fire. We've got 2 players on 2 joysticks, please.
We have never played an Amiga version of anything before.
Oh dear. Total carnage. You love
So
it.
I begin to see a little bit of the story now.
Right,
yes.
there you go, look. So, A button to fire, I believe. You're just running around like an imbecile.
Yeah, because I could not fire.
You were just firing then, you big liar. Now, it's kind of similar. I can see that it's not as smooth and the colours are slightly off. Everybody kind of looks a bit beach brown.
I am having an even harder time.
Yeah, because like with Robotron, you have to be walking towards the enemies in order to actually kill them.
No, you don't. You just have to be facing the right direction.
Yeah, but to face the right direction, you kind of have to walk towards them. So, there's also no music, but I think that was kind of an affliction of the Amiga anyway.
Look at the little legs go.
In many games, you had to make a choice between music or sound. And this one has no music. It just has sound. And it's kind of boring sound at that.
I just can't get... Oh.
I have to say, though, they don't just press... There you go. You can actually rejoin yourself this time instead of having me do it. All the features are still here, so you still got all the power-ups and stuff.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like the other one. The dudes are still green with baseball bats. I'm not dying as much. I seem to be a bit more
because
resilient.
it seems that in the original, as soon as you walked into them, you died. Whereas in this, it takes them a little while to actually strike you and actually kill you.
But again, you have got to be in exactly the right place, otherwise you don't get any of them.
Yeah.
I wish there was
Wish there were what?
3 more
3 more
directions
yeah.
for firing in, that's all. If I could fire in that angle between the angles,
Then it'd be too easy.
far more enjoyable.
Right, which way? Up or down?
Down.
We'll
we
go
went
down
up
this
last
time. What? No transitions between the screens. You just
Yeah,
get,
you just can't. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Well, that was fair. We got surrounded.
How do I rejoin?
I don't know if you do. Maybe you've used all your continues and that's it.
Oh.
It's just me now.
So, the other one was released in the arcade,
Yeah, 1990.
and this was released in the Amiga in what year?
I've still got a credit. I think this will have been the same year.
Because compared
What
to...
Oh, I can use that. I just moved the mouse and I've discovered that I can use that to fire. What?
Compared to other home versions of things that we've played, this is very competent.
Yeah.
This looks like...
You'd be quite happy with this if
Yeah.
you brought it home. So we can see, more than anything, the feature parity and the sort of power parity between arcade and home hardware now.
Yeah.
It's still not quite there. There's still a long way to go, but it is getting closer and closer. The edges are getting... What am I saying? The gap is getting smaller.
Yes.
There we go. I got there in the end. Oh, I nearly got shrapnel then. I am surviving a lot longer than I intend to. Let's just walk through all these guys. There we go. Thing is, though, you can just walk through them all and not die, like that, for example.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where all them crazy spheres are coming from. What's that all about? And then I've got this thing. The gore is still there, though it doesn't seem to be in quite such a high quantity.
Don't know, I blew up before and I still exploded all over the place.
And now I'm just standing amongst them. It took them a while to kill me. I was just curious to see how long it took them.
Yeah, because before it was instant.
I need to get on with it.
Get you from far away, wouldn't they?
And there we go. Oh dear, I died. Game over. Do we get to see the nice end screen? That's the big question.
No.
Ah! Well, I didn't get to put anything in then because the mouse did it for me. You've actually got 4 initials to use this time, which is a bit bizarre.
I spelt my name entirely wrong.
Nice one. Alright, so that was the Amiga version.
Yeah, that was alright.
That was released 1991, so that was the year following. Which makes sense. It did sometimes take a while for these things to happen. The title screen still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Right, so let's move on.
Yes.
Big money! Big prizes! I love it!
Alright, okay. That, it might take a little while to load,
Ooh.
but
There's
eventually it
something,
will work.
There's something you don't see much of anymore.
No, you don't. Well, you do. You see it an awful lot, actually, because the company that is now called Atari is not the same Atari as this Atari, but they have the same logo and the same name. But basically, modern Atari is just the name.
Yeah.
And the copyrights.
Because they were the business back in the day, weren't they, Atari?
Oh yeah, definitely. So here we go. This crack team proudly presents Smash TV. We don't need a trainer. Get away from me. Here we go, loading all of data into extra memory. It's looking pretty similar.
Is this one of those where you would have had a memory card?
No. This is one of those where you had a computer with RAM.
Ah.
That's what it's doing.
Right.
It's because a little bit of history for you here.
Go on then.
When you had games on floppy disks, a lot of the time they'd come with 2 discs.
Mm-hmm.
And then these amazing, incredibly talented crack teams would manage to compress the files down onto 1 disc and make it just work.
Alright.
Okay, looking and sounding very similar
Yes.
so far. Slightly fewer colours, I have to say. Noticeably fewer colours.
Yeah, but you don't...
Right. So, 2 players, 2 joysticks.
Go.
Again, pretty damn similar. It's looking, in fact,
it's identical.
almost pretty much the same. Now, another little bit of history for you here. Are you controlling?
No.
You saw me set it up there.
Yeah.
You saw that happen. Are you even firing? Or is it just firing for you?
I'm not doing anything.
What's going on?
I'm holding my own though.
Yeah, I will protect you. But it's not like you need to do anything because, quite frankly, it's the same game.
Yeah.
Just with less colours.
Yeah.
And this is what tended to happen. You see, the Atari ST and Amiga were competing platforms back in, well, from the late 80s to sort of the mid 90s.
Right. So which Atari is this?
This is the Atari ST, which stands for 1632. Which is a bit weird, isn't it? He's trying to wrap his head around that one.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't. Well, it's to do with the processors, and it had one 16-bit processor, one 32-bit, something like that.
Okay.
And they were sort of had the market of 16-bit home computers covered between them, and they're just competing in that area. Now, the Amiga was slightly more expensive and was harder to program for, but it was far more powerful and could do a lot more stuff.
Okay.
What tended to happen, though, was that people would make the ST version of the game, and then for the Amiga they'd just make the colours slightly better, but it'd been exactly the same game, even though the Amiga was capable of a lot more.
So this one may have come out first.
It may well have just come out, just before the Amiga version, or it might have come out at the same time.
Right.
And the thing is, that's kind of why the Amiga wasn't as successful as it could have been, because it was so damn hard to make anything for.
Right.
But in terms of Smash TV here, we can see that it's basically the same game. So we can move on from that fairly swiftly.
I mean, it's exactly the same. I mean, we've seen other versions of other things where there's been slight differences.
Yeah.
And there's been things are in different places. And literally all that's different on this is it's slightly less colourful.
Yeah. We might see that a lot if we do more Amiga and ST games. I'm not sure if we're doing that, but
I have a question.
Go on.
Before, in the 80s,
Yes.
we've seen lots of
Balls.
DOS games and ZX Spectrum games and Sega things.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to have vanished almost, and they're being taken over by newer consoles and things.
Not so much that. What we've got here is, you see, we're from jolly old England.
Yeah.
So we need a jolly old English perspective, and in the UK, home computers were massive, consoles not so big. So that's why I'm sort of focusing more on the computers and giving them a bit of representation, because we've seen a lot of the consoles, we've seen a lot of ZX Spectrum and stuff. So, it's sort of equaling it out a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Right, well, let's move on, because I'm fed up with this now.
I'd buy that for $1.
1982 Sinclair. Woo!
Yes. So,
Baldy Ginger.
here we go. Now, don't...
Is he still alive?
Yes, just about. I don't think that this one's going to have two players somehow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It looks like flipping Judge Dredd or something.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
That is not accurate. Apart from that.
Yeah, well, he still look very well.
No.
I can't believe the colours.
Do you want to be invulnerable?
Yes.
No. Smash TV,
I
yeah.
can't believe, despite my earlier question, that this is still going.
I know. It was 1991. It was
1991.
It was still at large.
It's now nearly 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's had one new version in 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's still trying to keep up with... I mean, what we've just seen was a very fast-paced, colourful, complex game. Mm-hmm. And this, historically...
has been none of those things.
None of those things. So I am so excited to see what our buddy is going to come out with this time.
Let's redefine the keys so that you can actually control it.
Can I do this one?
Yes. What do you want your fire key to be? Stout Yeoman.
So these are my...
Yes. Because I think they're the only ones that work. Yeah, I know.
Let's go for enter here.
Well, yep, there you go. And pause. We don't need to pause.
Okay, so I'm going to control with my left hand and fire
Yep.
with... Oh no, I could do it all with my...
Are you ready? Prepare yourself. Let's go. Good. We didn't even get the guy walking around.
It's the holiday.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, you've got actually.
Well, this is less Robocop and more Tron. This one.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
This thing is in. What the heck is this thing?
I don't know. They seem to have.
I need to move around.
They seem to have taken some liberties, and now you're shooting records that apparently bleed.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Whoops. Oh.
Now you've got the bouncy balls of doom. Get the monies.
Money.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
here come the gremlins.
Ah.
For some reason, when you die, you get electrocuted.
Oh, that's because I'm on an electric grid.
This that didn't go very well, did it? Superb high score. Let's try that again.
Do you know what? I'm actually impressed.
They tried, didn't they? The colours are actually not bad, or at least better than some we've seen.
Oh no!
You got recorded.
It's hard to.
You see, you can't really tell where it's gonna go, can you?
No.
Get the present. Get the present.
Ooh.
Oh, it went.
No.
These things are a pain. I was playing this a little bit last night, and yeah, they're a pain. I can tell you that.
But I can't. Oh.
The little men as well. It's you see, in the arcade game, the men chased you around and they actually made swings at you and stuff. And there were, the shrapnel guys. Don't know if they appear in this. Well, we may see if we manage to get past this first stage. Exit. Hey.
Oh, it's hard.
Oh, there he is. Look. There's the red coat. Get him. But you also, in the arcade, you had auto fire, so you could just hold down the stick and you just fire in that direction constantly.
Yeah.
And this one you have to keep. Oh. Did they look at this before putting it out?
I'm being attacked by.
Yes. You're being attacked by the very concept of life itself.
There is a strategy.
I mean,
Ooh.
well, until you get attacked by the spinning tops, yes.
The Christmas bauble of death.
What is the deal with the enemies in this? What were they thinking? And why does everything... Go on.
I have another question that springs to mind.
Go on.
Remember
You're
Outrun.
a Wombo.
Outrunner?
Outrun. You're always going to get that name wrong.
We played that, and the arcade version was about 12 million miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played this version, and it was slow.
It was slow.
So why is this so fast if it's the same machine?
Did you notice something about Outrun that this doesn't do? I'll let you have another go while I'm talking, because then it's not.
Can I change my firing button?
No. Too late. Sorry.
Can I use another enter?
Yeah. Maybe. Let's hope. Yes, you can. Something that Outrun did that this doesn't. Music. When you had music on a Spectrum game, it made it like a million times slower. And you see, Manic Miner got away with it because Manic Miner was very clever with its programming. In that it had constantly changed what the processor was doing every frame. So in one frame it'd play music, in the other frame it'd play the game. And not every game did that. In fact, basically, Manic Miner did it and that was about it.
Right, okay.
As I understand it. So, what that meant was, if you had music in your Spectrum game, it just made it very, very sluggish indeed. Because the processor could only handle so much. Especially on 48K Spectrums, like we're running here. But since this is not playing music, it's just got the game logic and that's it.
Yeah, it can do more stuff.
It can.
Because
Now,
go
go
on. You go, carry on.
I was just going to say, something I forgot to mention about Outrun when we were playing it was that when you bought your Spectrum tape, here we go again. I'm going to have to put an 18 plus warning on this video. When you bought the game on Spectrum, you also got a audio cassette of the actual soundtrack.
Right.
Which makes me wonder why they bothered putting the soundtrack in the game at all. And they could have just had a faster experience. But that's by the by, we're not talking about Outrun here.
No, it just linked the question.
Yeah.
Was interesting.
It was a very poignant question, but it kind of goes to show that...
I think it was a poignant question. It was just
Poignant. I think as well they were probably just better programmers on this game. Now the guy kind of looks like a spaceman.
See, I can't get the image out of my head of Clive sitting there making these games.
Just Clive.
Because he just wants to be involved in every process of his genius machine.
He didn't want games on his machine.
Poppycock.
Ah, these tanks are hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because flipping out, look at all them projectiles. It's like being checkmated.
Do you know what?
Go on.
That was more fun.
Than the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Well, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting turn of events.
I don't know why, but that was better in my inadequately unqualified opinion. For me, it was better.
Well, this is why I bring you on this show. Okay. Got one more version to play.
Okay.
This is going to be the most versions we're ever going to have, so make sure you...
Oh, we had quite a few...
for one game.
Yeah, we had quite a few for Karate Champ, didn't we?
We had 2 for Karate Champ.
What was the one when we had loads of versions? Just kept going. Oh, it was Gauntlet. There
Was
were
it?
millions of them, because
Yeah,
everybody had Gauntlet.
Gauntlet was the biz.
Total carnage!
Sega!
Sega!
The Flying Edge.
Flying Edge
Do I need my
presents. So this
controller?
is a different company developing this version, a Probe production.
Hey, what should we call our company? Let's call it Probe.
Look at these colours, man!
Ah, yeah, that's good.
Smash TV.
Ferg.
Right, control. We've still got the 1 player 2 controllers business, because if you wanted to, you could hold 2 controllers and use one of them to play. We'll have to try that out actually. Alright, let's have a look at the options. What? Right, sure. What? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Good. 2 players. No, 2 players, please. Thank you.
Oh, that looks different.
Audio's a bit gnarly. Hey, look at this. We've got the proper transitions between the screens. The guys have different skin colours again. Something we didn't mention, the representation in this game. Oh, right. So one... Oh, what's going on?
Oh, you've got stinking reversed, inversed,
You know what?
square law.
You're controlling me.
Am I?
Yes.
You sure?
But I'm also controlling me.
No, I'm controlling me.
But you're also controlling me.
Oh, no.
You are!
You
Right,
stop.
press up.
Oh.
How do these things happen? Right, so I've not only got to fight the enemies,
This
I've
is-
also got to fight against my...
This is 2 players, 1 controller.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Ah! Well, I've got my own distinct controls at least, so I can fire in the reverse direction. That's a good feature, I have to say. That's good, because it means that you have got a bit more capability than if you just had the one firing direction. Right, wait at the exit. There we go. Right, are you still controlling me? Yay! I've got my guy back again.
I'm still going the wrong way, though.
Well, that's not my problem now. Avoid the Pontefract cakes on the floor.
Sorry?
The mines... You see, this version is probably the best we've seen. But this was on the Mega Drive, which was a
Very powerful machine.
very powerful machine. Yes, indeed.
Well, I wouldn't say this is the best we've seen.
But you like the Spectrum version.
Can we...
In terms of arcade perfectness,
You've done this to me again.
what have I done?
I'm to go left, I'm going right.
That was your fault. You did that
How
last
was-
time. You
How
stuck
was
with
that
that now.
my fault?
Because...
I don't set these things up.
Yes, you did.
How did I set it up?
Press start to continue. Because when we played Gauntlet, you pressed the wrong directions when we were setting up your controller. Do you want me to fix it for you?
Because I can't play it. Sorry, viewers. I'm very particular about my...
Left and right
Freaky.
being correct. Come on, let's
Oh,
go before...
oh,
Come
oh,
on!
I can't-
Ugh! Ugh. For Pete's sake, come on. No! This way. Ugh.
Oh no, I don't like this one.
Oh,
Oh!
we've still got our mate here. Whoa, these crazy, angry looking ladies.
They
Whoa!
weren't ladies.
They were some kind of creature. The redcoats have turned blue. They've turned to...
Confederates.
Kind of. They've turned into the French. Oh, the spinning shuriken things don't work against them either. They're very hard to hit.
You do have to be moving in the direction this time if you want to shoot diagonally.
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't.
Well, as long as you get the direction down, you're all right. But
Yeah.
I do like the firing backwards bit. You can also there's also something about locking it in direct. Oh yeah, so if you're firing in one direction, you can press Y, I think, on your controller, and you'll keep firing in that direction. Come on.
How do I fire backwards?
Press B, I think. Total carnage.
This is going to be hard. Oh, I see. You just turn around.
Yeah, I think that's a really good feature, that. Because they didn't have 2 sticks on each controller, they've made a compromise, and it works really well.
Say so.
Don't you agree? They also still sink into the ground, and
It is actually quite useful
yeah.
because you can walk backwards.
If nothing else, this is the most playable version.
Yeah, I'm having more fun with this than I did with the other
Ugh.
couple of versions.
The audio's a bit bizarre though. The music's great. The music's very enjoyable.
What got me then?
I had no idea. I think you got by a sphere of
No.
death.
Oops.
Well done. Whatever you just pressed, don't press it again because
was
it made
trying
it
to
go
come
really
back.
fast.
You said press what?
You're dead. I think you've run out of
I
credits.
know. Just when I was getting the hang of it.
Yeah. Notice who's still standing.
So is this still 1991?
Yeah, it will be.
So all these games came out in the same space of time?
Yeah. But for vastly different machines.
Right.
And you can see the different... Well, that's the whole point of this. You can see the differences between the lot. But yeah, this is clearly the most close to the arcade that we've had. In terms of the fact that it's got the music, it's got the graphics. Not quite as good, but so close.
But I reckon this one would have been the most expensive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For the Amiga and ST version, you're talking maybe 30 quid, I think. For the Spectrum version, maybe, I think when I looked it up, it was £8.99. Or it might have been £11.99, one of the two.
Okay.
I've looked at a lot of games.
Not that much in the 90s.
Yeah. You would have gone to Boots with your money and picked up a game.
Boots.
Yeah, Boots. Back in those days, they didn't until about this time actually. They didn't have specific game shops.
Not Blockbuster.
Not for Spectrum games, I wouldn't have thought.
No.
For these games though, yeah, definitely. Would have gone here. Let's try that again. Would have gone to Blockbuster to rent this game. 1992, this one. Sorry.
Almost as old as I am.
Yeah, you would have gone to Blockbuster to rent this game because, like I've said before, console games were as expensive back then as they were now.
Yes.
In fact, technically more so because they've not been adjusted for inflation. So that
Was
concludes
Smash TV.
TV. What did you think of that game?
Meh.
Take it or leave it. I
I
like.
wouldn't play it again.
What about the thematic elements and the sort of game show vibe to it? The
Yeah, but I didn't get it straight away.
Well, you don't need to get it straight away. You got the gameplay and what it was asking of you. That's all you really need to know.
I know, but like with Dragon's Lair, you got that he was doing something, he was on a mission. This, you just kind of ran through it and then picked it up on the way. It would have been nice to just have a little bit of a... Like Robotron did.
There you go.
Well-
You see? There you go. There you go. Moaning, as usual.
Well, where was this?
The most violent game show of all time. Lucky contestants. You need to be reading it out.
I'm too tired.
It's too fast.
Satellite, yeah. Mind you, 1999 Satellite. See, if that had been at the start, I would have been much more engaged with the entire process.
Well,
Where was that in the arcade?
probably printed on the cabinet. Okay, so Let's have some ratings
Let's
then.
have some ratings.
Arcade version first.
I thought it was very fast, difficult to control. Looked very nice. Brr.
Well, while you're deciding, I'm going to stick my lot in 7.5.
I was going to say 7.
Okay.
So 7.
7 plus 7.5. Okay, that's good. What about, which version do we play next? Amiga stroke ST, because they were basically the
It
same.
was pretty good. Colours were nice. Oh my goodness.
That's the first boss, by the way, that we didn't manage to get to.
The colours were nice. It played a bit differently. Yeah, 7. It wasn't any different.
I would say 6 for that.
Why?
It wasn't as smooth and it wasn't as fast paced and the colours weren't there. And I feel that they could have done all that with the Amiga, but they just couldn't be bothered because they were too lazy.
Okay.
So 6 from me.
Okay.
Still
a
fun.
7 for me though.
Okay. How about the Spectrum version? You really enjoyed that.
I really enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. It was fast. It was colourful. It was more engaging,
He likes that word.
and it was a bit easier because you could figure out a strategy. So I'm gonna say an 8 1/3.
I'm sticking with 6 for that one, just because it was a flurry of bizarre and uninspired enemies. I mean, what the hell was going on with that particular enemy, whom we shan't mention? But it just like, they'd seen the game being played in the arcade, they hadn't actually played it themselves. That's the vibe I got from it.
Yeah, but
And it wasn't 2-player.
it was fun.
It was fun. 6.
You
for
didn't
me.
play it.
I played it yesterday.
8 1/3.
It
was fun.
Okay. And finally, the Mega Drive version. Basically the same as the arcade, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, it was very, very similar.
I thought it was a bit easier,
hmm
and I liked the firing backwards feature.
You could do that in the arcade, though, remember?
Could you?
You could fire in any direction.
Well, you never told me that.
Yes, I did.
That would have made life a lot easier.
How many times did I say, it's like Robotron, you can fire and move independently. You've got 2 sticks.
Yeah, but you didn't say I could fire backwards and walk backwards like I could there.
What did you think I meant?
I don't know.
Did you think you had to control it like that?
I thought you had to just look
Come on.
where you wanted to fire, and that was it. And you could fire. Oh, I understand now.
No wonder you found it so difficult.
Well, I like that last version, so I'm going to give that a 7.5.
I'm gonna agree, say 7.5 for that, because for my money, it's so similar to the arcade version that if I was around in 1992, which I wasn't, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell the difference, because my brain wouldn't have been developed enough to know.
No.
Not that I'd be playing such games in 92, because my parents, and your parents, by extension, were they looked at the games we played and didn't let us play anything that we weren't allowed to. I got
Well,
told
that
off for
was-
playing Grand Theft Auto once.
That was smoothly said.
You get the idea. So, Smash TV, everybody.
Smash
and
TV.
That'll do us for that episode. So it's
Yep.
good night from he,
And good night from moi
and we'll see you all for the next one.
in 1991.
That's the one.
Bye.
Ta-ra!